All right, so we went ahead and created our leader stats folder in our player. And just to review, we go ahead and play it. What the leader stats folder does for us is it automatically opens up the window on the top right corner, right? And right up here, right, that shows the money. And if I go into the right side in Explorer and I click on player, and then I click on my username, and then I take a look at this, right? This leader stats folder was created by this script right here, okay? Let's create the folder, parent it to the player. This is the player. I'll give the name leader stats. That's why this is called leader stats. And leader stats is a special name, right? Because if you call it leader stats, then it will appear here in the top right corner, okay? And then we create a integer value that's parented into leader stats called money. That's in the variable named money. And then we said, okay, that integer value's name is going to be money. So what does that do? Inside of our leader stats folder, we have money, and it's called money because that's the name that I gave it here. And its value is defaulted to 0. Okay, so so yeah, that's kind of how this goes. And if we think about it in our Roblox server, right, what's happening in the first 2 lines here is it's connecting to the data store service that's in the server. Okay, let me go ahead and show you this too. So it's connecting to the server. It's going into the server, into the data store service on the server. This is where all of the player data is stored, right? Every Roblox game has a folder in data store service, and that's where that game's player data is stored. And then here, when you're saying DS, get data store, Gold Rush store, what that's doing is creating a folder on the server called Gold Rush store that's going to be only for our game that we're creating. Okay, so for this Gold Rush game, this is where the folder in data store service that's on the server, this is where all of our players' data is going to be stored. So eventually we're going to have like player 1, and then we're going to have his gold and his nuggets and his max nuggets here. Okay, but we haven't gotten there yet. So far we just have this. Okay, we have created a folder by doing line number 2. Okay, and then on line 4 it's saying, okay, player, when he connects to the server, when he connects to the game, right, what am I going to do? I'm going to create a folder for him. That's this one here. And then I'm going to call it leader stats, and I'm going to give it the integer value money. So what is all of this doing? On the client, right, on the person who's playing at home, on his computer at home, right, not on the Roblox server, right, but on his home computer, it is creating a leader stats folder, which we see right there, and it has a money integer value, which is right here. Okay, so that's what this is all doing. And so the next thing that we need to do is we also need to, when the player connects to the server, is to check, let me get this back up, is to check on the Gold Rush store, and then check into the player's folder, and then check on the money that's in the player's folder, and whatever value this is on the server, we want to load it into the client's money value in leader stats, right? Why do we need that to happen? Because let's say the player played, he collected a lot of money, now he has, $5,000. So enough to get on the train and to leave the town and win the game, right? Well, and then he leaves right before he buys a ticket to the train. So that means the money that's on the server is going to be equal to 5,000. Right? But if there's no connection between what the client has and what's on the server, then when the client plays again, the money is going to be set equal to 0. Okay? Because that's the default value. So we need code that says, okay, when the client connects to the server and starts to play his game, okay, go into the server, go into the data store service, go into our special folder on the data store service, get the players folder that's in that folder, and then get the money that was saved in there, that was saved from his last game, right? The money that he earned on his last game. Get that value, copy it, and paste it right in there, right? So when the client plays, then it's going to show 5,000 here, right? After going through that entire process of going on the server, going into all these different folders, getting the value, and putting that value here when he connects to the game. Okay, and then another aspect of this leader stats is when the player disconnects from the game, right? So let's say he's at 5,000. Like, let's say he first connected, he got the amount of money, 5,000, pasted it right here. The player kept playing, and then he ended the game with 7,500 money. Okay, when the player disconnects from the game, what we want to do is we want to take how much he has now, and we want to copy that. We want to go into the server, into the players folder, and we want to paste that in right there, right? So then the player leaves the game, his money that he earned is saved on the server, and when he comes back to play again, his money is not going to be set to 0, right? His money is going to be set to what it was set to, 7,500. Okay, so that's the process that we're going to be coding next, and I just wanted to be clear on exactly what we were doing. So let me go ahead and stop the video there, and then we'll code that in the next video.